Kanye West was born on 8 June 1977 in Atlanta, Georgia to Dr. Donda C. Williams West and Ray West. His father was one of the former Black Panthers and the first ever black photojournalist at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. His mother was an English professor at the Clark Atlanta University and also the chair of English department at the Chicago State University. His parents divorced when he was only 3 years old, and he moved in with his mother to Chicago, Illinois. West was raised in a humble way and belonged to a middle-class background. He did his schooling from the Polaris High School in Illinois. He shifted to Nanjing, China at the age of 10 when his mother was asked to teach at the Nanjing University as a part of an exchange program. He was creative from an early age. He wrote his first poetry at the age of 5. He started to rap at the young age of 5 and composing his own music by the time he was in the 7th grade. West started to get more and more involved in the hip-hop scene of the city, and when he was 17, he wrote a rap song called Green Eggs and Ham. He persuaded his mother to pay him money so that he can start recording in the studio. Although hhis mother did not want this for him, she started accompanying him to a small basement studio in the city. There West met the godfather of Chicago hip-hop, No ID. He soon became West's mentor. In 1997, West was offered a scholarship from the Chicago's American Academy of Art, and he took upon it to learn the art of painting, and then took the transfer to the Chicago State University to pursue English literature. At the age of 20, he decided to drop out of the college to pursue his dream to become a rapper and a musician, full-time. This greatly upset his mother. West's outspoken views and life outside of music have received significant media attention. He has been a frequent source of controversy for his conduct at award shows, on social media, and in other public settings, as well as his comments on the music and fashion industries, U.S. politics, and race. His marriage to television personality Kim Kardashian has also been a source of substantial media attention. As a fashion designer, he has collaborated with Nike, Louis Vuitton, and APC on both clothing and footwear, and have most prominently resulted in the Yeezy collaboration with Adidas beginning in 2013. He is the founder and head of the creative content company Donda. West is among the most critically acclaimed musicians of the 21st century and one of the best-selling music artists of all time, with over 135 million records sold worldwide. He has won a total of 21 Grammy Awards, making him one of the most awarded artists of all time, and the most Grammy-awarded artist of his generation. 3 of his albums have been included and ranked on Rolling Stone's 2012 update of the 500 greatest albums of all time list, and he ties with Bob Dylan for having topped the annual Paz and Jop Critic poll the most number of times ever, with 4 #1 albums each. Time magazine named him one of the 100 most influential people in the world in 2005 and 2015. From mid-90s until the early 2000s, West was involved in small-time music production projects. He made music for the local artists and was also a ghost producer for Derek D. Angeletti. West got the much-awaited opportunity in 2000 when he became the producer for artists on Roc-A-Fella Records. He produced hit singles for famous singers like Common, Ludacris, Cameron, etc. It was in 2001, world-renowned rapper and entertainment business tycoon Jay-Z asked West to produce many tracks of his hit album The Blueprint. Around this time he continued to produce tracks for singers and rappers like Alicia Keys, Janet Jackson, etc. Subsequently he became a successful producer, but his heart's true desire was to become a rapper. It became a very challenging situation for him to get acceptance as a rapper and crack a record deal. In 2002, Kanye got the breakthrough in his music career. He met with an accident while coming back from a long recording session in LA, as he fell asleep at the wheel. While he was in the hospital, he wrote down the song Through the Wire, which was 3 weeks later recorded by Roc-A-Fella Records and became a part of his debut album Death. In 2004, West came up with his second album The College Dropout, which became an instant hit with music lovers. It sold 441,000 copies in its first week. It secured the number 2 on the Billboard 200. It has a number called Slow Jams that featured Twisted and Jamie Foxx alongside West. It was voted as the top album of the year by 2 big music publications. Another track from the album called Jesus Walks showcased West's emotions about faith and Christianity. In 2005, West collaborated with American film score composer John Brion, who co-executively produced many tracks on the album, to work on West's new album Late Registration. He hired a string orchestra for the album and afforded the cost with all the money he made out of the college dropout. It sold 2.3 million copies in United States. In the same year, West announced that he will release his pastel clothing line in 2006, but it was cancelled in 2009. In 2007, West released his third studio album Graduation. He released it at the same time 50 Cent's Curtis came out. But Graduation outsold Curtis by a huge margin and secured #1 position at the US Billboard 200. It sold about 957,000 copies in its very first week. The track called Stronger became West's biggest hit single. In 2008, West released his fourth studio album 808s and Heartbreak. The album topped the Billboard charts and sold 450,000 copies during its first few weeks. The inspiration of this album came from the sad demise of West's mother Donna West and breakup with his fiancée, Alexis Pfeiffer. The album is said to have inspired the hip-hop music and other rappers to take more creative risks with their productions. In the same year, West announced to open 10 Fatburger restaurants in Chicago. The first one was opened in Orland Park in 2008. In 2009, West teamed up with Nike to release his own shoes. He named them Air Yeezys and released another version of it in the year 2012. In the same year, he came out with his new shoe line for Louis Vuitton and released it during the Paris Fashion Week. West also designed shoes for Bape and Giuseppe Zanotti. In 2010, West's fifth studio album My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was released, and it topped the Billboard charts in its first few weeks itself. It was considered as a genius work by the music critics. It got rave reviews from all over the world and included hits like All of the Lights, Power, Monster, Runaway, etc. This album became platinum in the States. In 2013, West came out with his sixth album Yeezus and took a more non-commercial approach in making it. He collaborated with talents like Chicago drill, dancehall, acid house and industrial music in the making of this album. The album was released in the month of June and has received rave reviews from the music critics. Family and personal life. In November 2007, West's mother Donda West died of a heart disease right after she underwent a plastic surgery procedure. She was 58 years old at the time. This left West in turmoil, as he was extremely close to his mother. She had released her memoir before her death called Raising Kanye, Life Lessons from the Mother of a Hip-Hop Superstar. Kanye West was in on and off relationship with designer Alexis Pfeiffer for 4 years before getting engaged to her in August 2006. The engagement lasted 18 months before the pair called it quits in 2008. He was in a relationship with model Amber Rose from 2008 to 2010. In April 2012, West began dating Kim Kardashian. They got engaged in October 2013 and married on May 24, 2014, at Fort di Belvedere in Florence, Italy. West and Kim Kardashian have 3 children, daughters North West, born June 2013, and Chicago West, born January 2018 of a surrogate pregnancy, and son Saint West, born December 2015. In January 2019, Kim Kardashian announced that they are expecting their 5th child, a son, via surrogate.